KangaTech has become integral in our team's ability to develop profiles on player strength and areas of improvement. I would say during a return to play process, we can use those profiles to help us understand potential areas of improvement that we need to focus on. And we can also identify thresholds that we can set as we start to return a player to competition. One of the really valuable parts of the KangaTech system is the visual feedback that it provides. During a return to play process where you're trying to set a percentage of a player's max, it's important to be able to see for that player what they should be trying to achieve that day. The visual training zones that we can set for any exercise helps us to provide immediate feedback as to what the player should be working towards that day. As he's in the system, he can see whether or not he's overloading himself or underloading himself towards a specific goal for that day. As we work through a return to play, we can track the progress of our players and we can give them that positive reinforcement to show them the progress that they're making over time. As our players get stronger and stronger, and as they get closer to returning to the field, they're able to see the progress using the KangaTech system, but they can also see areas that they need to continue to improve. We utilize the KangaTech for pre-training assessments of readiness, and this can be applied to an entire team, but it also applies to the return to play process, so that if we're seeing a player who isn't testing as well as we'd like, we can modify their return to play that day, or we can actually push them a little bit harder. Player profiling, especially hip internal-external rotation or total hip profiling, has become one of the standards for the club. And again, we can utilize this time during a return to play process to address areas that we found during their profiling. With the high-speed running that we start to achieve later on in the return to play process, it's important to see what kind of recovery we're getting in the hamstrings. And using the KangaTech system, we're able to track whether or not a player is recovered from one session to another.